Okay, today what we're going to do is these corner panel extensions, I got them put back on the car here, and you got a little bit of just a skim bodywork where there's a piece of tape here and there's a piece right there. They're just a little wavy, so I'm going to make those a lot nicer, and then we can get this whole final thing in its last bit of primer here, and again, we'll get it all nice, hopefully get it in black very soon here. The key here is get this final thing done, get them in primer, again, block it, and then we can put our lights in, the bumper can go back on the car, the letters. I can go ahead and do this. I still got to paint the deck lid. I got to paint the top of that yet, but that's today's project. We're going to try to get these in final primer, and tomorrow we can probably start doing some block sanding on it. So, there we go. Okay, just a little bit of Bondo. Just a skim right here, here, and then way over here. Let that cure and then we'll block it out. This looks a whole lot better. Okay, so now we're going to attend to these seams right here. Now what I did was I put a little filler in there. First I blocked it and took it down to about 220. And so what I've decided to do here is I'm going to do a blend. I'm going to get these sanded really a little bit better than that. We see a little imperfection here, and I'm also going to do that other side too, obviously. So got this bottom molding off and both sides. So what we're doing is we're going to dust in, and we're only going to go up to about here at the most. And I also noticed right in here I saw some rough areas, and I decided since I'm going to reshoot this, I was just going to fix any little things along the bottom of the molding. Here it was extensive, it was a little worse, but I got that chiseled in nice. So there's what we're going to do. We're going to get this whole thing, and you can see right in the middle. Let me zoom in over here. Right there in the middle. It was kind of bad right here, and it was wavy. So I put a little filler right there, fixed that. It's real smooth. So again, I have to tape it off and then wipe this down with some cleaner. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to dust that right there, up along that top edge where we did any repair, and then right here on that other seam right there, and we're just basically going to dust it over the edge just a tad, and we'll put a good coating all through the center and then just dust it over, and I think we'll be able to blend that pretty nice. Okay, so now I had to get figuring out what kind of paint to get for the car. I didn't know what was on it. Originally this car was black, Starlight Black from the factory, but I knew later on, probably maybe the late 80s, mid 80s or something, when the urethane started coming out, I think that they used this shade. This is Summit brand paints, and this can was only 37 bucks and change, and way cheaper than if I were to go out and spend the money. Now luckily I had a quart can of Starlight Black, so I sprayed a test, and then I compared it to a polished area of this repaint from the, I'm guessing, the 80s. It didn't look right. Starlight Black has sort of a bluish green hue to it, and the paint that was reshot has just a bluish hue. It's very strange the way Starlight Black looks. And this is what's known as Classic Black. You can read that there. Summit UP 300Q Classic Black. Now when I got this and sprayed a test of it, it matched pretty close to what was reshot on that car. So that's what I'm going to go with. the paint on the car is not clear coated. It is a single stage that lasted all these years. I'm going to continue that. I'm going to do spot repairs with blending. And if I, like, say I blend to a certain area and stop, I can just leave it where it's at and repair a new area, say the roof, in my car's case right now. Just as an example, the roof. Say the roof, which I won't shoot now, and I wet sand it and I look at it compared to this, newer painted, and it's got some flaws or whatever, I can blend the blend. I can actually blend it over and still not need to uniformly clear coat between the two blended areas. So this will fit the bill for that. Now, before any paint work gets done, if I do body work, well, body work, I need to seal that. So move that aside. I have this, also Summit. It's a direct-to-metal epoxy primer. I got it in black. And this stuff, you do not let it cure. You let it stay kind of tacky, and then you paint that over the body work. Now, you paint that. Within like a half an hour to an hour, your first coat of this. So that's the way I'm doing the car. This was a whole lot cheaper at 37 bucks a pop versus like 110 of Starlight Black per quart. Per quart. I mean, Starlight Black, if you buy a gallon of it, it's like 500 bucks. Well, I want to drive this car, not paint it forever. So if I want to paint it and fix anything, I got this right here, and a gallon of this is only like 100 something for a whole gallon, which is enough to do most of the car. 2 gallons of it, man, that's, think about it. I mean, the math is pretty simple. When you're doing budget repairs and budget paint work, all you care about is you're going to take care of this car, you're going to garage it, you're everyday driving it, and if it gets a chip in it, man, you got $1,000 in paint in a car that just got chipped in an everyday driver? No way. This is the way to go, for me anyway. So, but again, that went on first, then that, and they worked great together. Keep all the family together all summer. So, let's get to seeing what the car turned out like. Okay, just shot the single stage, and then I took all the tape off. As you can see, I painted all of this right here, the deck lid, the back of the tail panel, and here's where I blended it. See between the two? And it's crucial that that single stage matches this single stage. This is the old, here's the new. They're very, you kind of got to ignore the blend and look at the finish, the finished end of it. And then it's just, go ahead, sand it. You will not see that blend because it's a graceful sort of a taper. But I did the exact same blend on the other side of the car too. And that's why if I don't want to even clear over this, I won't have to, as long as my match is very close. And it is. Now this is obviously not polished, but sand this to 1000. Now I have no idea what the roof of this car looks like. I just don't know, because it's for whatever reason. So if I want to not clear coat, but I want to paint this top, I could just blend it right in this same spot, sand them uniformly. In fact, I could do that everywhere in this car, since the person who painted it used single stage. That's the only advantage to the single stage when it comes to the spot repair. It needs its wet sand job done on it, of course, but it's got a nice shine to it, and 3 coats. In fact, there's probably more paint there than there is here. That's why I have to be very careful when I go ahead and do this whole blending stuff and sanding it, prepping it. I need to have enough paint to have the leeway here a little bit. And the other side came out just as nice. So, and there is like a slight tint to this classic black as well. There's a little bit of blue in it, and I think there's a little bit of blue in this original. So I think they used classic black when they reshot the car. They probably didn't want to pay the extra money for the Starlight, but there's a slight bluish to it. We'll get the moldings back in after I do the wet sanding. It came out pretty nice though. And here's I polished just this area right here on the old paint to show you the transition. It's very close. Single stage, you got to lay it on right and match it. If you can do that, you don't need to clear coat over all of it. You see how dirty this paint is? It just needed wet sanded to make it look like this again. It's doable. But you can tell there's a little blue in this, and there's a little blue in that. Yep. So we got some wet sanding to do, don't we? Okay. We got our tail lights in. I did wet sand and polish just this very thing. I didn't do any sanding here yet. But we got that wet sanded, and then we got the tail light bezels installed with the bumper. Came out pretty nice. I actually got the plate on, which isn't the actual plate for the car. It's just the plate that was on the car one time. I just wanted to put some kind of plate on it, but this isn't accurate. I will not put historical plates on a driver. Can't do that in Ohio. But again, we'll wet sand all of this up here. Just this area we did it because I wanted to put this lock mechanism in it and get it preparation for the letters. But she came out really nice. The seams look great. Those that needed repaired, they look nice now. And yeah, she's got a lot of orange peel, but hey, the tail panel sanded out fine. It was just as orange peely here, and it came out fine. So it can be wet sanded. There's 3 coats on here. I mean, there's plenty of paint to wet sand. And it sure looks a whole lot better with all those newer parts on it. It's transformed, really. Yeah. Be proud to drive down the street in this now. So there we have it. We did some paint work.